What's up guys, it's Ivan from the past here, and today I'm going to be doing a deck profile on my Bermuda Harmony deck. So this is going to be pretty fun since this deck just came out and I just got it built and it's so shiny. But yeah, getting started with starting Vanguard. So starting Vanguard is first lesson Akari. So Akarin looks exactly like her if you're familiar with Yuri. But her ability is Harmony, and then she's your starting Vanguard, of course. She has ability, you can put this unit to Soul to bounce one, draw a card if she's in Harmony. So if you don't know how Harmony works, it's basically if you have one card with a keyword and another card gets placed in the same column, then both units get put into Harmony state until the end of the turn. So if you break the state by removing one unit, then they're no longer in Harmony. So just be careful about that. So starting Vanguard is really good. It's basically like Weddle, if you're familiar with the old Bermuda cards, like the Bermuda Cadet Weddle, but she lets you draw one card on top of it too, which makes it really good because it's bounce plus draw one, which is actually a lot of value. Then since it's a Lauris deck, I'm going to run 4 copies of Miracle Voice Lauris. She's a really good card. I'll just put down these copies and let you just be able to read the SP print of her. So, Miracle Lauris's ability. So she has Vanguard / Rearguard Harmony, of course. And she also has the ability that when you stride, you can Counterblast 1, choose one of your Bermudas, return it to your hand, and then if you return one, you can draw a card. So Counterblast 1, bounce, draw 1 is actually a lot of value again. If you're not familiar with how Bermuda cards work, then you probably wouldn't understand the value, but it's a lot of value. Oh man, this card's art is so nice. Her Generation Break 2 is Vanguard once per turn. When this unit becomes in Harmony, you choose 2 of your other rearguards. They get plus 5,000. Not rearguards, any units actually. And then she also gains a crit. So you can just pump the booster, pump another unit, and then you have 221 lines and then one's a crit. But crit shouldn't usually be relevant because you should have pushed your opponent to pretty high damage already. So you're not going to be getting GB2 off that quickly in this deck unless you really want to run Blizza, but we don't run Blizza. And then for other grade 3s, I run 2 copies of Rising Star Twa. Twa is pretty much your backup Legion if all else fails, or situationally she's really good sometimes too. She's basically a Legion restander, so yeah, you have a restanding Vanguard, it's pretty good. Cost is pretty hefty, Counterblast free, ditch free. If it's in Legion, you restand. Her auto ability is not really relevant. She Legions with Top Isle Riviere, which is pretty interesting because you can actually get the Persona Blast off. And of course, I'm going to run 2 copies of Top Isle Riviere, Summer Art, of course, because I can. So her skill is Counterblast 2, Persona Blast, choose 3 units, rearguards, get plus 5,000. I doubt you'll ever get the Persona Blast off, but it's there if you need it. It's usable with Twa as well if you get it off. It's mainly for the restanding Vanguard. Just put this like that. Okay. Yeah, Legion art. No, not gonna do that. It's too much scrub. And then starting with the grade 2, since that's 8 grade 3s, that's all you need. I'm gonna run 3 copies of Ideal Walking Weather Amelia. So she's Counterblast 1 when Generation Break 1 when she's returned to hand, you can draw a card. So basically like Girls Rock Rios and a lot of the Bermuda cards that return to hand give you pluses. She also has Resist, which is situationally useful. Just have to be careful about it against Shadow Paladin matchup. It's not too hard to really beat Shadows because you rush them down pretty quickly, but you also advantage them very well. You just want to be really careful with Counterblast because it's not exactly the most plentiful thing in this deck. You need to be good with CB management, but she's really good, so I just run 3 copies. Then I run 4 copies of Unbeliever Girl Potpourri. So Potpourri's ability, I'll just put down these 3 copies as well. So her ability is Harmony, of course, and then when she hits, and if you can return a rearguard to your hand, and then if she's still in Harmony after that, you can choose a card from your hand and call it to rearguard. So basically it lets you get multi-attacks with on-hit pressure, which is really good. Really replaces Perla in most situations, because that one was only like once per turn. And if you get the specific card to call in the same column, this one's like anything you call in the same column, she instantly gets Harmony. The way Harmony works is that if you call like another unit, then that unit already gets in Harmony. So This is really useful with Shizuku because you can just call Shizuku in this column and then it's insta harmony for the if you bounce and reset. You'll understand what I mean if you play the deck, but I'm assuming you're watching this because you want to either play the deck or you do play the deck and you just want to see what I build it like. And I run 4 copies of Admire Sparkle Spisa. So Spisa's ability is when she's boosted, you counterblast 1, bounce another of your rear guards, and then call 1 from your hand. It gets plus 3,000. So if you recall on 9k, then it goes 12, hits for 9's pretty good. Just multi-attacks in general gets kind of ridiculous in this deck. This card's a powerhouse. Like, it works consistently well. The counterblast is kind of heavy, yeah, but you get what you pay for pretty much. You can get a lot of multi-attacks off in this deck. It gets pretty insane if they start letting stuff hit, and then this card just instantly gets you another attack, plus bounce procs. It's just, yeah, this stuff gets really dumb. That's it for grade 2s. It's not really like a exceptional lineup. I know I'm not running full foil because, 2 non-foil Twa, whatever. And then for grade 1s, I run 4 copies of Image Master Kukuri. So Kukuri's ability is, she's unflipping perfect guard pretty much. She's one of the first perfect guards to have the countercharge text. So countercharge means unflip damage. It's basically kind of like soul charge, but it's like counterblast, but you reverse. So you can't perfect guard your rear guards, which kind of sucks, but it's okay. It doesn't really matter in the deck. It just helps you with the counterblast really, and lets you not have to like spam unflippers, which I do run actually. That's the next card. I run 2 copies of Magical Yell Nina. So she's Soul Blast 2, Unflip 2. You got a lot of soul really easily. Don't even worry about it. Lets you spam Twa pretty well too, so it's good. Yeah, counterblast is no longer really an issue because Kukuri came out. This is probably gonna be the first video in the series, so got a lot of Bermuda decks to go over. And then I run 4 copies of superb new student Shizuku. Shizuku is like probably one of the best cards that they actually released in the set. I'm not even kidding. She's Harmony, and when you Harmony once per turn, you can search top 5 for a grade 3 added to your hand and shuffle your deck. This card gets absolutely insane because you can proc Shizuku like multiple times per turn. If you bounce her back to hand, then you reset the once per turn. So I've gotten like 2 to 3 grade 3s to my hand. Like that's filtering out of your deck. It's really good. Basically, like, for building a field, you don't minus yourself. It gets really stupid. You plus a lot really hard. And then of course finally the 4 Shandis. Shandi is a Stride Enabler. You can also search for a Lauris with her as well. I'm not gonna go over that because the effect is pretty common. Alright. And then trigger lineup. That's all the grade 1s to freeze. Just gonna go over the triggers. So I'm running 3 copies of Dreamer Kuruk. Oh man, they butchered the name. They butchered a lot of the names. So her ability is Harmony, and then if she's in Harmony, then this unit gets auto put it to the top of your deck. After this boost, you can pay cost. If you do, then you can choose 20 other rear guards, return to your hand, and then you can choose up to 1 card from your hand and call it to rear guard. So again, it's like a Spisa almost, but it's after you attack. So what would happen if you actually attack with Spisa and this boosted? Is Spisa would go off first, and then this would go after the attack. So it's basically after the guard, after the attack step's done. Okay. Let's move this stuff up. There we go. Yeah, I think I'm using a new camera, so yeah, I got a new phone. Phone recording. I run 3 copies of Dual Love Choker Shulim. Shulim's ability actually works in every single deck. I don't understand why people don't play this card because it works in every single Bermuda deck, because I know it says that you require a dual Vanguard, but you have a card called Nectaria. So if you don't know what this card does, basically counterblast 1 put it at the top of the deck. When another of your units is returned to hand, if you have a Vanguard with dual in its name, you can search your deck for up to 1 card with the same name as the unit returned to your hand, and then you can add it to your hand. So you can basically clone perfect guards in every single Bermuda deck. I don't understand why people don't play it because it's really pissing me off too. Because I can't believe people don't actually think of this stuff, but I do apparently. Because I run Nectaria in pretty much every deck and played this in every deck. So yeah, free crits. If I was mentioning about the stand. The stand trigger, I mainly play it because the effect is really good. But the stands actually work in the deck. It's really disgusting when it goes off too. You don't need draw triggers in this deck because you plus so hard already. And then I run 4 of the Lauris crits. So Reina, so she has ability when you Vanguard attacks. If it's a Lauris Vanguard, then you can soul charge this and then draw a card and choose the Vanguard gets plus 5,000. It's pretty disgusting with Lauris at GB2 or just with Olivia in general if you want to use it. SP crits are nice, man. And then I just run 2 normal 5k crits. 5k crits, that's why I didn't max out on True Limbs because, yeah, this is a 9 crit deck. 9 crit is a very nice number. And the 5k numbers are actually important sometimes, so that's why you don't want to actually max out on True Limb, because True Limb is a more situational card. And then I run 4 copies of heals, because heals are good. Heals are always good. Yeah. Nothing to say. I could choose any other heal, but it's actually important to run multiple copies of some cards. So I'm just going to clear this up and then we can go over Stride deck. Good. Yeah, how well does this deck perform? It's a very strong deck. I would easily say this is probably the best Bermuda deck because it's just so consistent and it performs really well. So for Stride deck, I'm going to run obviously 4 copies of Olivia. So I don't actually have my 4th copy right now, so I'm just using the sample text special prints, of course. I'm getting my 4th copy soon. It was really hard to get Olivia's actually. I had to split in the case, so I didn't get all of them, but it's okay. I'll find my 4th copy very soon. I'm not playing in tournaments very soon, so it doesn't really matter if I'm playing casual games. So Olivia's ability is, oh my goodness, it's really long. It's counterboss 1 and flip a copy of herself in the generation zone. You can only do that when you have face up G zone 1 or more, so this is second stride or more only. So if you do that, you can choose up to 5 rearguards. If they all have different names, then you can bounce them into your hand. If 3 or more were returned, you can choose 2 cards from your hand, call them to rearguard in separate rows, so basically front row, back row, and then she gets plus 1 crit. So reset, it's basically a pseudo field bounce. Lets you get 2 more attacks and gives you a crit. It's so much value in one card. This card is so good. It's really worth the money. I understand why this card is so expensive. It's definitely worth it. Bye bye Akadine. And then I run 2 copies of Somni. It's your on hit. So basically on hit you can choose one of your cards. Choose one of your rear guards, bounce it to your hand. Choose another card from your hand, call it gets plus 3,000. Basically, it's an on-hit version of Spisa. It's very good. You can stride it twice to just really push really hard first before you want to really go for Olivia's. You use these to help burn PGs and then use Olivia's to like try to push for game usually. I only actually use Olivia like once usually in a game. It's very rare I have to use it twice. And then I run 1 copy of Nectaria. This is mainly here for the combo with Chula, which I will grab so I can show to the camera. Yeah, so see, duo, it works. Okay, like I read this up. I thought of this at the beginning, but I wasn't sure. But I checked it up. It seems like it works, and it's pretty good. You can bounce a unit. You can use this as your first stride as well. If you really are short on perfect arts, then you can definitely use the combo to add extra PG. But other than that, her on hit lets you bounce a card to your hand, so it's on hit bounce 1, but you can't really do anything with it otherwise, so obviously that's why it's teched at 1. And finally I run 1 copy of Amoris. Amoris is just really if you need to fix your columns or just bounce units for net pluses, then she's decent, and she also helps you reset for Harmony as well, so it's not bad. It's also teched at 1. I could cut 1 Somni for Madhu, but I don't find I really need to use Madhu because Legion is not the main focus of this deck. So I'm just going to do something very interesting. It's called my 9 attacks with this deck. Alright, so this is going to be part of a video where I explain how to do 9 attacks with Olivia. So your first attack is going to be this Spisa to a rearguard. Alright, and then your second attack will be this Spisa boosted by a Shizuku. Shizuku is just optimal. It can be any 7k booster. But you bounce this. Choose this, bounce, call again, plus 3, and then you're going to attack for 16, and use ability to reset the this, call again. And then at the end of the battle, Kirk pops back to the deck, bounce this, Harmony, you can search 5 again, that's why this is optimal. Next attack, number 4, call, boost, bounce. Now at this point you just want to call anything because it'll make more optimal lines. So this is 14. Attack 5. And that's free counterblast, yep. And then you want to attack Olivia's skill. 1, 2, 3. And then just bounce her and her. And you're gonna triple drive. I'm gonna assume you don't hit a stand. If you hit a stand, you can actually do 10 attacks, but yeah. And then you want to use this attack, boost, counterblast, bounce, call, and then at the end of the battle, use this ability, bounce this back to hand, and then you can call anything now to make more optimal numbers. So preferably 11Ks. Attack. That's 9 attacks. So yeah, that's about it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed the deck profile. I'm gonna be uploading a lot more Bermuda decks in the next couple of days, so yeah, stay tuned. Hopefully I get my 4th Olivia, so I don't have to be a scrub with my sample text. But yeah, like and subscribe. See you guys next time.